Today, we're going to discuss the winners and losers of the NBA trade deadline that went down last week. Now, first off, with the winners, we have Bulls fans. Now, you can include the Bulls in this in general, as I think they had a good trade deadline, adding 8 second-round picks. It was 9, but the Hornets took one back after renegotiating because Kobe White was dealing with an injury. But you add Anthony Simons for Vucevic, which makes you even more guard overloaded, trading away that center. And the Bulls were already guard overloaded, but even more so now. As I said, Simons, Jaden Ivey, Rob Dillingham, Colin Sexton all come in. That doesn't really matter. You need to look towards the future, and adding 8 second-round picks can be useful. You can get good players in the second round: Draymond Green, Jalen Brunson, Pele Larson a couple of years ago for the Heat. He's been really good for the Heat. And so, you know what? You can use those picks to go more in the positive direction. They could definitely use some lottery luck, especially in this deep class this year. If they don't make the playoffs, which it looks like they might not. The Hornets might get that last spot. But, definitely something to be happy about. This front office for the Bulls has been one of the worst in the league since they configured. So they need to really, step it in the right direction. And this could be some false hope for Bulls fans. And maybe Bulls fans don't love their deadline because they traded away Ayo Dosunmu. But you know what? You need to go in a different direction. And adding 8 second-round picks is a lot of second-round picks and can do you a lot of good in the long run. Second up, we have Jose Alvarado. Now, the Knicks had a good deadline adding Alvarado, and then they get Jeremy Shohan off the buyout market as well. Is pretty solid. But Alvarado, being from Brooklyn, going to high school in Queens, being a New York guy, I mean, the Knicks fans are going to absolutely love him. He already had a career-high 8 threes for them before the All-Star break. I think it was 25 or 26 points that night. He's so gritty as a defender. You know what I'm saying? He's just a guy a fan base can really rally around. And I think marketing-wise, there's a lot in it for him being in New York, being under the bright lights. If they win a championship with him in the roster and he's playing minutes in the playoffs and in the finals, as I'm sure he will if they get there. And I think the Knicks will get there to the finals this year, in my opinion. Knicks fans are going to absolutely love Jose Alvarado. Next, Minnesota. Adding Ayo Dosunmu, trading away Rob Dillingham is an upgrade for the now, for sure. Dillingham didn't really work out. I don't think Chris Finch really, gave him that breathing room at times to really grow on the court, trying to win games and stuff. So I don't think Minnesota makes a super deep run this year. I mean, the West is so talented, so deep. You run into the Thunder, the Spurs, Wemby, the Nuggets. It's going to be tough to make it out of the West, but Ayo Dosunmu makes you better, definitely for now. If they can look to make him more of a long-term piece for them, then sure. But this is definitely a good trade for them. So I think the Timberwolves did well. Next up, Memphis. Now, they did not trade away John Morant, but they will in the summer. They traded away Bane before the season and got some first-round picks in that from Orlando. And then you trade away Jaren Jackson Jr. into Utah was very surprising, but you get 3 first-round picks there. You get Walter Clayton Jr. They have a lot of guards themselves, Morant. I think they could look to trade Ty Jerome in the offseason. He makes about $9 million a year. And then after next season, it has a player option that he probably would opt out of if he keeps playing the way he is right now since coming back from injury. So, yeah, they have a lot of guards. They can move on from some of them. Ja will definitely get traded. But adding all these first-round picks in the deep West, just rebuild. And that's what they're looking to do. I think they've done a good job at it so far. I made a short about trading Jaren Jackson Jr. a couple months ago, and they went ahead and pulled the trigger. And the last winner, we have the Lakers. Now, you may say, all they did was add Luke Kennard, and that was a good move for them, adding a shooter around Luka and Austin Reeves and, LeBron. That helps. But this is more so the fact that Giannis did not get traded. The Lakers had no way of trading for him at the trade deadline. They were not a part of it. But they can certainly be a part of it in the summer with more assets, more draft picks to trade available to them. So I'm not saying that Giannis is going to the Lakers by any means, but the fact that Giannis did not get traded and it's waiting until the summer gives the Lakers a shot. And with that being said, that makes it a win for them. Now to the losers. We're going to start out with the Miami Heat. In that same breath about the Lakers being winners because Giannis did not get traded, the same breath the Heat are losers because they did not get Giannis. A lot of people were saying the Warriors were the front runners. I didn't really see that. They had more picks to trade, sure, but Kuminga being the best player in that trade, isn't really a coveted item. I mean, the Warriors didn't really covet Kuminga, so that says a lot. I think the player package the Heat could have gave out with Jokic and Khalil Ware, maybe Jaquez, and whatever it was, even Jovic, even though he's had a tough year, is so young with a good 6'10" skill set. So the Heat not getting the trade done when they were the last team in the running for it is disappointing. And, maybe the Bucks didn't really want to trade him, and that's fair, but you can't sit there and say the Heat are not losers with the fact that Giannis, didn't get traded because it was their opportunity, and there'll be more contenders to get Giannis in the summer battling with the Heat for his services, so that makes them losers. Next up, we have the Rockets. Now, the Rockets, the Heat, and the Spurs were the only teams not to make a move at the trade deadline, and I think the Rockets, that really hurts them. In the deep West, as I discussed, I think they could have really used another point guard, some type of playmaker there. I thought Kobe White could have been an interesting fit, or maybe a Dosunmu if they could have got it done, or just something like that. Just another guard to help out with Van Vliet out all year. And not getting anything done, I think, is very disappointing. And it was either owner or their GM. I forget who said it. Somebody said it's just not our year, and that's not what you want to hear. And they didn't make any moves. I think the Rockets will be a round one exit, depending who they match up with. And if they do win in round one, they'll be a round two exit. So it was disappointing trade deadline season for the Rockets for sure. And next up, we have the Sacramento Kings. This is our last loser of the video. And you know what? They're definitely losers. And they have been. They just mishandled their assets. The De'Aaron Fox trade did not bring a good return. And trading away Schroeder and Keon Ellis. And Keon Ellis had some value. There was definitely some teams that wanted to add his perimeter defense to the rosters. And trading him away and just getting back DeAndre Hunter is a very parallel move. You know, it doesn't bring you greatness in the future. It doesn't bring you assets. It doesn't bring you stuff you can use. DeAndre Hunter's making like $24 million next year. You have a lot of money invested in Keegan Murray already, so that's a lot of money invested in your forwards. It's just a very side-to-side move, and it could even be looked at as a decline move because you trade away Keon Ellis's perimeter defense, which is on a very manageable contract. I just don't love what the Kings did. I don't ever love what the Kings do. They just cannot seem to get it right. So you know what? That'll conclude it. That's the winners and losers of this video. I got that down on one take. And if you enjoyed that one or learned anything, hit that subscribe button for your boy. I'm really just getting started. Like, comment, do all that. Appreciate y'all.